have to admit, I never thought I'd be making a video like this. Before I get into the topic of this video, I do want to make anyone who isn't aware of something that happened the other day. Sonic 93, I'm guessing because of the massive amount of backlash she's been receiving following her video covering Dumbsville, has deleted her channel. Personally, I find it very cowardly for her to run and hide like Pentagon and Stories did following the Spectre drama, and it would have been better for her to address the criticism being thrown her way and handling it maturely, instead of taking the coward's way out. But if I'm being honest with myself, even if she did stick around and address the criticism being given to her, she most certainly wouldn't have addressed it maturely. I would be lying if I told you I wasn't glad she's gone. I don't want to come across as spiteful or unforgiving. I try my best to practice forgiveness every day, being a Christian and all. But when I say I'm glad she's gone, I say I'm glad she can't harm anyone else or make a bigger fool of herself. Her video on Dumbsville was quite possibly the biggest dumpster fire of a video she has ever made since the revival of this drama. And there are numerous videos on YouTube explaining why it is. I was going to make my own video covering hers, but I find it pointless now seeing as she isn't around anymore. This does mean that I will be discontinuing my Sonic 93 videos that I was working on beforehand. You know, my commentaries discussing her videos on Melody and Alduin in detail. Sorry if you were all looking forward to those rants, but I don't really think there's any point in making those anymore. However, there is one person I'd like to talk about instead of her. That of course being her infamous White Knight Super Sprite 65. I will be refraining from using the White Knight term in present tense format because Sprite has cut ties with Sonic 93 because of an incident hours ago at the time of writing the script where she belittled and mocked him in a call because he suggested that she open up to people, as well as her just not being a very good friend to him. From what he told me, the incident where she belittled him for suggesting she open up to others was harmful enough to bring him to near tears. You know there's no hope for Sonic 93 if she has no problem with lashing out at the one White Knight who defended her and fought for her tooth and nail despite her being in the wrong. I won't really go too much into his history since I'm pretty sure that anyone who knows Sonic 93 and what she's done knows Sprite and what he's done, since his actions revolved around her. Basically, Sprite is the artist of Sonic 93's Talk Sprites and was one of her biggest, if not her absolute biggest, fans. He featured in her remade video on Melody and pretty much copied everything Sonic 93 said throughout the whole video, even at times making worse points than her. He regularly argued with people over Sonic 93's actions and has a history of lying to people. Perhaps his most infamous case of lying comes from when he lied to Ghosty and his mods in his Discord server after he was exposed for being a spy. When he was confronted by Ghosty, Boxafox, my friend Sage is Lazy, and some other mods in Ghosty's server, he wound up shouting at them and lying repeatedly, eventually getting banned from Ghosty's server due to it all. Recently, at least I think it was, he made 4 videos covering Alduin's first video on Sonic 93 that was made a year ago, which was unscripted and consisted of constant nitpicking and arguments that fell flat because of, well, common sense. I'm only aware of these videos existing because the other day, at the time of writing the script, Sage is Lazy made a co-op commentary with her best friend Shadow Shutdown, dissecting his first video on her. They can't cover his other videos because he deleted them before she could get a hold of them. That brings me to what I really want to talk about. The day after the video was posted, Sprite commented on her video. Word for word, he said, "Oh yeah, that video. I agree, it wasn't a very good video that I did, lol. And to be honest, I didn't really have much to back up my opinions. Mostly because a lot of people were actually right about Sonic 93. Looking back at this video, it's just cringe to me. I'll have you all know I put myself on a new leaf and moved on from this drama. And mostly been focusing on myself lately, because it seemed like all the stuff I did was for her, not for me." He also mentions that anyone who wants to talk to him about the drama can DM him on Discord. I responded to his comment, letting him know how I felt at the time, and I let him know at the end who I am. I feel like it was good for him to know that I'm not just some random showing up to nag on him and whatnot, but I'm a mod in Sage's server, which he is a part of. We pretty much immediately started discussing what was going on and his side of the story. I know that he has a really bad reputation of being a liar and whatnot, but after the conversation we had, I really want to believe him when he says he wants to put this behind him and do better. What helps is that he has actively taken steps to improve, like coming forward to me and several others, including Sage, Dumbsville, Sparrow, Shadow Shutdown, and several other members of Sage's Discord server, about the mistreatment and abuse he's experienced while talking to Sonic 93, as well as while we were all talking to him and encouraging him to drop her and move on. He blocked her that night and didn't wait until the next morning or any later than that. I'm super proud of the progress he has made to improve in such a short amount of time, and I want to continue working with him to help him recover from everything. Which is more than I can say about Sonic 93, who abandoned ship after she sunk it and refused to listen to anyone or change her ways. I'm going to show you guys screenshots of the discussion Sprite and I had, so you can hopefully get a better idea on why I feel like he's being genuine.
Hi.
Hey!
So, what would you like to know?
Well, before anything, I wanted to ask you a quick question. How have you been handling all the criticism being thrown your way? Any negative effects on your mental health or anything?
Some were kind of a negative to my mind, I will admit, but mostly made sense.
Have you been taking the things people say to heart?
What do you mean by that? In a bad way or good?
Well, constructive criticism. The things people have been saying you can improve on and where they think you went wrong. Have you been taking it to heart?
Yes, and that I want to improve.
That's definitely good to hear. I know I may have seemed spiteful before when it came to talking about you or Sonic 93, but trust me, I just want to see you improve and not doom yourself to sink like Sonic 93.
I understand that fully now. Sonic wanted me to keep making me think otherwise.
Yeah, I've heard she has the tendency to do that. On the topic of Sonic 93, I'm curious as to why you stuck by her despite everything she did. Hell, even defending her tooth and nail. What made you decide to do that for her?
She seemed relatable to me on a personal level.
Did she treat you any special way? Kind of like some sort of bribery to keep you around?
Kinda, I don't know. All I could say is that she seemed very nice and caring to me.
By the way, if I ever sound like I'm interrogating you, then let me know. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable while talking to me.
Thanks, I'll let you know.
I've said this to others, so I'll say it to you too. I try my best to be a true friend to other people who are in need of one. Despite past incidents, I do want to take you in as a friend and help you improve if you need it.
Understandable.
Whenever Draco and Minnie spoke with Box without Sonic 93's permission, I heard you lashed out at them like she did. Is there any reason why you may have?
I was scared.
Of her? Or of them?
Both at the time. I'm not afraid of Minnie and Draco like I was, but I'm mostly afraid of Sonic.
Do you think she'd do or say anything to you that would damage you in some way?
Yes.
Like what?
And she kinda did today.
What happened?
She was laughing at the idea I was getting her to talk to people about the situation, not to mention treating me like I'm dumb/blind.
How did she do that?
In a call with me today.
She treated you like that verbally?
Yes. I almost wanted to cry. It's bad enough I had a hard time making my words clear because of fear.
Trust me, Sprite. No amount of words or anything she does to you will ever be worth your tears.
Thanks.
What were you afraid she was gonna do? What do you fear the most about her?
Leaving me. That was my fear. The only way I could keep her by my side was to agree with everything she said.
I'm curious. Why did you want her to stick around so badly?
She made me feel good about myself, and she was the most available to talk to.
How did she make you feel good about yourself? Did she give you praise often, make you feel special to her?
Yeah. Saying that she liked my personality.
Do you think she may have been lying to you or using you?
I sort of feel that lately.
Given her reputation of backstabbing people, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Have you cut contact with her after all this, or are you still talking to her? You don't need to hide anything from me. If you're still talking to her, I won't treat you any different than I am now.
I still have her as a contact, but she nor I are talking.
Is there any part of you that still wants to be friends with her?
I don't know. I'm just shook right now.
If I were to offer you any advice, it would be to put her behind you. I don't know about you, but from what I can see, she doesn't really care if you stick around or not. She may have been using you as a tool and would pretend to think highly of you to keep you around. Unlike her other now ex-friends like Amy-chan, who she split with because she didn't agree with her regardless if she was wrong or not. Given you were someone who was willing to fight so hard for her even when she was in the wrong, she may have used you for that purpose. I don't want to say for certain because there is a possibility that she may have actually felt like you were a true friend to her and someone she could rely on. I strongly feel otherwise when it comes to her though, given she had no problem with belittling you when you suggested she open up to people. There are better people you can seek validation and happiness from. Like me, for example. If we were to become close friends, I would regularly do what I can to make you feel good without you having to be afraid I'll lash out at you if you so much as look at me the wrong way. You shouldn't be in a friendship with someone you fear, Sprite. It can be severely damaging to you. I would know. I've been where you are, but on a different level.
I bet.
I was in a relationship with someone who I thought loved and cared for me, but turned out to be abusive and manipulative. He made me abandon friends, would lash out constantly, belittled me for hours on end, and he took enjoyment in every moment he made me suffer. The last thing I want is for others to feel what I felt, and trust me, you would wind up where I was if you continued to pursue her. She's bad news and isn't worth your time and effort.
Yeah, sadly.
The best thing you can do for yourself right now is to put her behind you and to pursue other better people who will value you without you needing to fear them. You're in a whole server full of open, friendly people, and I'm sure if you were someone they could relate to and enjoyed being around, you'd make a ton of new friends that are worth more than she will ever be.
I'll do that. Thanks for giving me more confidence.
As you can see, Sprite said that the reason he defended her so much was because he felt like she was someone he could relate to, as well as the fact that she made him feel good, like he was special. However little time she made him feel that way, that is. But he also did and said those things because he was desperate to keep her around, and because he was afraid of what she'd do if he didn't. We've all seen her backstab, belittle, and openly talk shit to people she had been friends with for years, just because they didn't agree with her on something she was wrong about. So as far as I'm concerned, his fear of what she'd do if her most loyal fan and White Knight didn't defend her tooth and nail is understandable. I know he also mentions that when he and Sonic 93 lashed out at Draco and Minnie for talking to Sparrow behind her back, he was afraid of them too. He didn't explain why, but I don't hold it against him since I didn't ask. If I were to guess, he was afraid of them ratting him out to people like Sparrow or Ghosty for the shady things he did. He also acknowledged that she may have been using him the whole time because she was so defensive towards him and constantly belittled him despite everything he did for her. She was content to leave him to the lions even after he stood up for her countless times, which is utterly shameful. I really feel like this is the case because the moment he suggested something logical to her, she belittled and mocked him for it, and treated him like he was a moron for ever suggesting such a thing to her. I won't say for sure that she was using him and didn't actually see him as a friend like she said she didn't see Dunsville as a friend. There is a possibility that she did feel that connection with Sprite. However, her extreme spitefulness and narcissism leads her to having a short temper with others and leaving them to abandon her. Not only that, but she doesn't seem to value the people that she can call friends, like Sprite. So, that's another reason why I say she may have been using him. Sprite, I really want to express how proud I am of you for taking such an active part in your redemption story. You came to the people who were ready to rip you apart for your actions, and you opened up about a lot in terms of your relationship with Sonic 93 and how abusive she was to you. I know there are skeptical people who won't be so swift to forgive you and trust you again, but don't let that dissuade you from trying your best every day to do better and prove everyone wrong. Plus, you have a lot of people in your life now who are willing to help you get through it all, and I have no doubt that in due time, this whole thing will be a distant memory to you. If you ever feel tempted at all to run back to her, do not hesitate in coming to me or anyone else that you spoke to about this. I can't speak for everyone, but I will do everything in my power to dissuade you and protect you from her. With all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know how you feel about everything in the comments below. I will try to read them all and respond to them, but I am a rather busy woman and YouTube doesn't always notify me when I get comments or responses. Have a great day everyone and stay safe.
Hey guys, so this is my final thoughts and sort of an update as well. Well, firstly, I would like to thank Wi-Fi Down for letting me speak in this video. I also would like to thank Sage and Rubik's for helping me get through these hard times from moving on from Sonic 93. And thanks to everyone who believed in me even though I didn't. Thank you so much. And also, I would like to apologize as well to Ghosty and his server. I assure you I am not the same person as I was when I was with Sonic 93. I am just me and only me that just wants to move on and change for the better. And my final thoughts are, It just feels so good to be away from Silent Night 3 now. I feel so free and happy. I have never been this happy in a while now, and I hope it stays that way. And my update is that I'm planning on making a video against Silent Night 3 with the help of my new friends who will be assisting me in making it. It will be a lot more detail on what happened behind the scenes with me and Silent Night 3. Anyway, I believe that's about it. Again, thank you so much for having me speak here, and see you soon!